How was it?
It's all right.
So the United States is in debt $21 trillion, and student loans supposedly went up as well. I find it pretty hard it's hard to justify because like if your government doesn't pay their loans off casually, because they keep on going in debt and debt and debt, it's hard to it sets like kind of a bad standard for people that are also in debt, because they can just do the same thing, keep on going in debt and try to pay the bare minimal, which it'll get you somewhere, but it'll take insanely long to do that, to be able to pay off it in full if you pay it by minimal amount. So right now I'm helping produce a music, well, it's not a music video, it's like a music live performance / interview afterwards. It's called Breaking Sound. So I'm doing that. I helped out on a bunch of projects like Hello Campers. It's like a kid show that they made. Super well done. Puppets are insanely well done. Lexi, the person that did it, she's super good at that. It's crazy. It relates to kind of what's happening today through like our government, like presidents and all that, like wannabe presidents. They promise something that's like insane, like free healthcare. Not insane, but they promise stuff like free healthcare or free schooling or free whatever. But in reality, it's not. Usually they don't either pull through, but it's just the idea that they set out there for you, because it's what gets people like free college. Whoa, that's awesome. Let's do it. Or free healthcare. She or he got my vote. You know, it's all employed in ways, unless they go through with it. But it's sometimes they promise something and then it just doesn't happen. Yeah, music video sounds awesome. I do like actually making movies and stuff, but if that gets too big of a pain in the ass to do, then So me being able to go through college without any student loans or student debt, it is a good sense of pride, because you kind of feel like, as other people, like most of my friends, they're going in debt, like thousands of dollars. It does bring out like a sense of like, I worked really, like they obviously worked really hard as well, but like I thought a lot of things through that they may or may not have thought as well. Like going to a 2-year right away instead of a 4-year was a big beneficial like way, as they went to a 4-year to go, like, you know, experience the college life. And then like little things like living with my parents for 2 years and pay and save money that way. Obviously, I was lucky to have my parents let me do that, but it it brings out a sense of pride. I think I had this since like high school. I think my mom gave it to me.
I attended undergraduate at the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh from 1972 to 1977, and University of South Carolina for graduate school from 77 until 82. For undergraduate, it was $350, $400 a semester at the time for a full-time student. I worked for Shell Oil Company, and I was a technical specialist in one of their offices in New Orleans. I also had worked at the research lab, so I was more of a technical department. I supervised early on in my career, and then I stayed away from that and went to just technical work. I worked everywhere. I worked in New Orleans, and then we moved to California, and after California, back to Houston. And from Houston, we moved overseas to Scotland, and then we were in Holland, and then we moved back to New Orleans from where I retired from. It should be free in some sense and not costing very much at all. You should have a little skin in the game, I think, to feel that you're contributing to it, but it's a little bit high absorbent now for quite a few of the college costs. Well, I think for a lot of people is you don't, in my personal view, you don't have to go to some highfalutin college for undergraduate if you can get locally. I think some people can start off at a community college for the first couple of years because you really don't maybe know what your degree is going to be, the final degree. People make changes, so starting off there is fairly inexpensive, and then go finish off in a four-year college and do it locally as close as you can to home. Well, my thing would be usually 15 credits is the full load, but they allow you to take 18 a semester. And I would say take 18 credits and then try summer schools and interim classes. You can get done in 3 years. It doesn't cost you much more to do that than the first 3 years of a normal thing, just taking 15 credits. You can get done early, and you get out of school a year early, you save a year's worth of tuition and living costs and everything. Oh, work. I started off, it was $1.60 an hour that's minimum wage when I first started. Now it's minimum wage is 7-something, but most people don't make 7-something. They'll make maybe closer to 10. So that's about 7-8 times higher than what I made. Tuition's 10 times higher. So, but work and work weekends and evenings, and you still can get your studying in, and then you kind of own your education more instead of just sitting back and having big loan money come in and just like throwing it out the window,
So welcome to UW Waukesha. It's now UWM at Waukesha. They changed the name because they combined UWM and Waukesha. But yeah, this is the campus I started my college career at. I did my gen eds here for just a cheap cost. I was able to start my major off a little bit as well.
After I graduated UW Oshkosh in 2015, just was, I was ready to get out in the field. Before I graduated, I actually applied for a ton of jobs out in the news field out in Milwaukee. So there was TMJ4, there's WISN, which I interned at before my last year. And then there's Fox 6 and CBS 58 News. And I applied at all four, and then about 3 months later, I got a call from CBS 58 looking for a video editor full-time with benefits, everything. And that's exactly what I was looking for. I was ready to get my foot in the door. I edit all the time, so I thought this would be a good step for me. So I went for that interview, and what they were really interested the most they knew I had that piece of paper, but what they really interested is my outside work, especially when I did the Field Film Fest or any of the short films or any of the film festival type of stuff outside, like from Milwaukee Film. They were really interested in that. They wanted to know what I did there.
Yeah, it's always, it doesn't matter which university you go to do your general education studies, because every school is going to require you to do it no matter what. It's just part of their system. You do these classes before you move into your actual major and minor. So, important thing is, do it somewhere like I did. People do it cheap. I was able to get it paid off right away. Did 85% of them at a cheaper university before moving to my major, and that's really important. You don't have to do your major at that university, just do your gen eds and then go on from there at the proper university that you can find for lowest cost if you can. Do your major, have fun. Do the annoying stuff first, your gen eds, then have fun at the very end with your major.
Shut up! Shut up! We gotta find something. Where are you going? What are you doing over there?
That was our first real step, first real grappling of making a film with knowledge, with working behind the camera, and just learning about lenses, camera work, framing, lighting, sound. That's what film is. It's not just putting a camera in front of somebody and just hitting the record button. You gotta have that knowledge of framing and sound, and you gotta work with the actors, you gotta write a real screenplay. That was the true benefit of going to Waukesha for my first semester, was joining the film club and creating that film.
So this is Mike. He is one of our original Film Society members from, I think, beginning of 2010 is when he joined in, and in 2009 before the first Field Film Fest started. Mm-hmm. So it was a big help to get that thing rolling. So it was a lot of fun, kind of got our step in the field a little bit more and learned how to public speak pretty much, because we talked in front of a youth audience,
yeah,
which was different.
Actually, that was kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been better to possibly wait a year, just to maybe get some career paths explored a little bit more, maybe talk to some people in those industries, instead of being pushed into it, because just from the standpoint of the loans and how much it costs, I'm kind of regretting that, because I'm paying them off fine, but I wish I didn't have to pay it off, because I think if I was more informed on just the total cost of everything, how expensive it is, and then just that there are other options than going to a place like this, I would have explored that a little bit more, because like I was saying, I feel like I was kind of just, it wasn't an option, just you're going to college somewhere, we don't care where.
Because after everybody's like, oh, after high school you just go straight to college.
Right.
Start your field or
Yeah.
whatever you want to do.
And I knew I didn't want to go to a big school right away, like where I did go eventually at Madison, but better remember it. I remember that now that you said it, but I would have
Got like implanted in my brain for some reason. It's probably because I was here so much.
So what was there though before?
I think that was it was just like a little sitting room.
to me, the bigger issue is just let's get education
Yeah, get
costs
it
lower.
affordable. You
Because
know?
otherwise, I mean, somebody's paying for that. You know, somebody has to pay for all the millions, billions of dollars in loans.
Yeah.
To me, that's not fixing anything. The problem is the cost of education.
Education shouldn't be so expensive. They should be, you know, wanting people to get an education to better everything.
Right.
And
I mean,
continue.
well, and I mean, to give an example too, I've thought of going back to school and getting more education, but I always come back to saying no because I don't want more loans, more debt.
So after I graduated in 2015, I graduated with around $1,300 that I just had to pay off, and that's out of 5.5 years of schooling. And that's really nothing at all. That's something I could have paid off right away. And because I didn't have that debt on my head, I was able to, you know, save up for a home. I was able to save up for the ring, which later that year in 2015, I proposed to my wife. And from there, we were able to just start saving money for our home, our life, and everything. And it was just normal expenses I had to worry about. I didn't have to worry about school or anything over me, which was a really nice feeling. To be able to purchase your own home is a great feeling, and without having that debt on top of me, along with my normal bills, is just a huge relief. And if you're able to do that, be able to graduate college without having that school debt on your shoulder, all more power to you. That's the way you should shoot for. That's the best way that you can accomplish it, is just find the best way to complete your education at the cheapest cost and try to graduate without that debt, and you'll be able to purchase your home, whatever you want to do, whatever your goals are. Whatever you want to do without that over your shoulder is the best feeling ever. Just try to get those connections, get the help you need, find where you can get your gen eds done and your degree, the lowest cost you can. You'll be able to achieve your goals a lot quicker and have a happy life.